Welcome to Seeing Green Solutions for Our Daily Lives, the podcast where we spotlight the brands, ideas, and people making it easier to live sustainably every day. Today's episode is part of our Spotlight series, a deep dive into one of our Seeing Green Solutionists of the day. And now, today's solution.
Welcome to the deep dive. Our goal today is to give you a shortcut to being genuinely well-informed on a critical area in consumer goods. And this particular deep dive is part of the Seeing Green Spotlight series. Here we take a closer look at the Seeing Green Solutionist of the day and the actual real solutions they bring to help all of us be healthier and, greener in our daily lives. Today, our spotlight is focused squarely on Credo Beauty. They're the Seeing Green Solutionists of the day for August 29th. So let's kind of set the scene first. The global beauty and cosmetics industry, it's an absolute economic powerhouse, right? A multi-billion-dollar sector. It touches almost everyone's daily routine in some way, from just washing your face to, full makeup. But underneath all that glamour, there's a pretty significant environmental footprint too, would you say?
Oh, absolutely. No question. It's a vibrant industry, often really innovative, but it definitely faces some considerable challenges. And these span the entire product life cycle. Just think about it for a second. You've got the sourcing of ingredients, sometimes rare ones. Then the manufacturing processes, which can be very resource intensive. Then there's the sheer volume of packaging, often complex packaging, plus global distribution, logistics, and finally what actually happens to the product and its packaging at the end of life stage.
Right, the waste part.
Exactly. And these impacts, they touch everything, nature, water, resources, they contribute to emissions. It's a complex web.
So given all that, it makes sense that we've seen this huge focus develop around sustainable beauty and clean beauty. What does that actually mean for us as consumers trying to figure this all out? What should we look for?
That's a great question. Yeah. Because the terms themselves can sometimes feel a little vague. Broadly speaking, though, it signals a real effort to minimize harm. So for you as a consumer, this usually translates to products made with ingredients that are seen as clean, safe, often natural. A lot of them are vegan now, too. And you also see this really strong emphasis on packaging solutions. Things like moving towards plastic-free options or increasingly refillable systems.
Refillables, yes.
It's really about a more conscious, a more mindful approach to what we put on our bodies and how those choices impact the planet.
And it feels like this isn't just happening in beauty, is it? We're seeing similar pushes in other areas, like sustainable clothing, for example.
You're spot on. It connects directly to the bigger picture. If you look at sustainable innovators in apparel, they're prioritizing very similar principles. Things like designing for durability, making clothes last longer, using sustainable natural materials, actively working to eliminate harmful chemicals from their supply chains, and offering circular services, things like repair programs, rental options, or robust take-back systems for recycling.
Right, the whole life cycle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the beauty sector is increasingly adopting these same core ideas. They're realizing a truly sustainable product has to consider its entire journey, start to finish.
Which brings us nicely to Credo Beauty. Because they aren't just another store selling beauty products, are they? They seem to be playing a different kind of role.
Yeah, and that's one of the most fascinating things about them. Their unique position, they're a curated retailer, specifically focused on sustainable beauty. So they're not just stocking products that happen to fit the clean label. They are actively setting really stringent new standards for what can even be sold through their platform. And by doing that, they're effectively raising the bar for the whole industry. They're acting as a catalyst for change.
That's a powerful position to be in. Credo launched back in 2014, and they've really become a leader in this space. They have, 15 physical stores now, plus a really strong online presence. And they offer the whole range: skincare, makeup, fragrance, hair care. But it really seems like their Credo Clean standard is the backbone of it all. It defines them, doesn't it?
It really does. Their core mission, fundamentally, is about bringing transparency, safety, and integrity to an industry that historically hasn't had a lot of regulation. Yeah. It's often been pretty opaque. Huh. So they built this reputation as a trusted place for consumers who want better options. And importantly, they're a key partner for over 120 brands now. Every single product they carry gets vetted against these very strict standards. It's all about ensuring that you, the customer, are getting effective, innovative products made with safer ingredients and with a real emphasis on sustainable, natural, and ethical materials and practices throughout.
Okay, so let's dig into those 4 key areas you mentioned earlier. First up, ingredients. This Credo Clean standard seems central, especially their dirty lister. What does that actually mean for what's in, or maybe more importantly, what's not in the products they sell.
Right, this gets to the core of defining clean in a way that's practical and crucially enforceable. And for Credo, it's incredibly comprehensive. They're dirty listed. It's not just a suggestion. It actively prohibits or restricts over 2,700 chemicals. Now, these exclusions are typically driven by pretty significant safety concerns or environmental sustainability issues. But it's not just about banning things. It's also fundamentally about transparency. They demand full ingredient disclosure from brands, even for those, notoriously vague fragrance components.
Ah, the fragrance loophole.
Exactly. Which for decades have often hidden potentially problematic chemicals under the guise of trade secrets. Getting that level of transparency is a huge leap forward. They also push brands for safer, vetted formulations. And they even mandate testing on raw materials and the final product, looking for contaminants, heavy metals, checking for skin irritation potential, and ensuring the preservatives actually work effectively.
So it's not just about leaving the bad stuff out, but really making sure the stuff that is in there is safe, effective, and ethically sourced. Is that part of it too?
Precisely. It's a very holistic view. Their standards cover the humane treatment of both people and animals all the way through the supply chain. So brands have to show responsible labor practices and, of course, cruelty-free testing policies. They also standardize the ingredient names using the INCI system, that's the International Nomenclature Cosmetic Ingredient System. This helps you, the consumer, actually understand the labels more easily. It cuts through a lot of the jargon that used to make things so confusing. It allows for real informed choices.
That clarity is so important. Okay, so moving beyond what's inside the bottle, Credo is also looking hard at what's outside it, the packaging. They brought in sustainable packaging guidelines back in 2020, and the packaging issue feels particularly tough in beauty with all the small mixed material items.
It is tough. And what's really interesting here is Credo's approach. It's sort of threefold. Packaging has to be smartly designed, it needs to be made from sustainably sourced materials, and it must be optimized for its end of life. What happens after you're done with it? So they've banned single-use plastics outright, and they're taking really bold steps to cut down virgin plastic content across the board. And just as importantly, they actively guide brands away from making misleading green claims or using confusing labels. That's absolutely essential to fight greenwashing.
Definitely. Helping consumers see through that.
Right, so people can make genuinely sustainable choices.
And they aren't trying to solve this massive packaging problem all by themselves, are they? I know they co-founded PACT. Tell us about that.
Yes, PACT is such a critical piece of the puzzle. It really shows the power of collaboration. Think about the scale here. The beauty industry produces something like 120 billion units of packaging every year. It's staggering. And for those small, fiddly, complex items we all use, lotion pumps, mascara wands, lipstick tubes, the recycling rate is practically zero.
Because they're mixed materials.
Exactly. Conventional recycling plants just can't handle them easily. So PACT, which now has over 150 members, including huge players like Ulta Beauty and L'Oreal, they set up collection systems. They've already diverted over 500,000 pounds of this hard-to-recycle material from landfills since 2022, just through collection bins in thousands of stores. But the real insight here, I think, isn't just the volume. It's the proof that sometimes these massive, industry-wide problems like packaging waste can only really be tackled when competitors actually work together.
Putting aside differences for a common goal.
Precisely. Building that shared infrastructure. Collaboration can sometimes be more disruptive than individual companies trying to innovate alone.
That's a great point. And it seems like this collaboration is sparking some real innovation, too, like creating new materials from that collected waste.
Absolutely. PACT recently unveiled something called New Matter. It's a groundbreaking circular plastic resin made mostly from that beauty packaging waste they collected. And Credo, being a founding member, took this New Matter resin, it's an 84% blend, mixed with a bit of virgin polypropylene and some ocean-bound plastic for structural integrity. And they used it to create a first-of-its-kind, genuinely recyclable lotion pump.
Wow, recyclable pump, because those are usually impossible, right, with the metal spring and everything.
Exactly. Traditional pumps are a nightmare for recycling because of the mixed materials, the metal coil inside. This new pump uses just one material, polypropylene, which makes it much, much easier to recycle through existing streams. It's a fantastic proof point. They calculated that for every 38 of these pumps Credo makes and sells, 1 pound of plastic waste stays out of landfills or the oceans.
That's tangible progress right there. Incredible. Okay, so switching focus a bit, let's talk about us, the consumers. With all this information, standards, new materials, How do we make sense of it all without feeling overwhelmed? And how do we avoid just, wish cycling, tossing something in the bin, hoping it gets recycled? How does Credo help empower us?
Yeah, that's the crucial question, isn't it? How do you empower people to make genuinely informed choices? Credo puts a lot of effort into education. A lot. They've trained clean beauty specialists in their stores. They offer comprehensive guides online, tons of blog content. And this content is specifically designed to sort of demystify clean beauty, to help you decode those tricky ingredient labels, explain what ingredients do, why some are avoided. It directly helps you avoid that wish cycling trap and really understand the impact of your purchases. And consumers are asking for this. Our research shows over 75% of U.S. consumers now say sustainable packaging is a priority.
75%, wow.
Yeah, so brands really have to integrate sustainability authentically now. From the ingredients through the packaging, even to giving back initiatives, Credo really helps bridge that knowledge gap for consumers.
And it seems Credo's role goes beyond just vetting established brands.
Yeah.
They also seem to act as a launchpad for newer indie brands, especially those with a strong mission.
That's another fascinating angle. They really function as an accelerator in many ways. Through their stores, their online platform, and direct mentorship, they offer a vital pathway for smaller brands that align with their clean principles to scale up, but to do it responsibly. A really key example is their Credo for Change program, which they launched in 2020. This is a mentorship and accelerator initiative specifically created to support BIPOC-founded clean beauty brands.
That sounds incredibly important, addressing the need for more diversity and equity in the beauty industry itself.
Precisely. It's directly tackling that historic underrepresentation. It provides hands-on support in really critical areas like formulation guidance, navigating regulations, building the brand story, figuring out retail strategy. It helps ensure that the next wave of beauty innovators are not only committed to clean and sustainable practices from the start, but also reflect a more diverse and equitable industry overall. It's about building a better future for beauty, truly from the ground up.
So when you put it all together, Credo Beauty is really demonstrating how a single retailer, albeit a focused one, can drive pretty systemic change. From banning thousands of ingredients to pushing packaging innovation and recycling solutions to actively championing diverse emerging brands. It's remarkably comprehensive.
It really is. And it kind of leaves you with a provocative thought, doesn't it? If one retailer can establish such thorough standards covering product, packaging, people, and planet, and manage to foster this level of industry collaboration, well, what if every major consumer goods sector had something like a Credo Clean standard guiding its practices? Just imagine the potential collective impact on global waste, on responsible consumption, across basically all aspects of our daily lives.
That's a powerful thought to end on. To learn more about Credo Beauty, you can visit them at credobeauty.com. And if you're interested in finding more brands and innovators who are dedicated to creating a greener, more sustainable world, visit the Seeing Green website. You can see more trailblazers making significant strides in promoting eco-friendly living through innovative products, solutions, and practices. That's online at www.seeinggreen.eco. And you can follow us at Seeing Green Eco across social media channels. Thank you so much for joining us for this episode of the Seeing Green Spotlight Series podcast.